All right, what's going on, Giants fans? Welcome to the Giants Week 8 offensive line report this week versus the Kansas City Chiefs, who had the least amount of sacks in the NFL coming into this game. They had three. They had three in this game. We're actually going to go through two of them. So with the Giants being bad, the Giants offensive line being bad, but not also just being bad, but not having like any future to it, you know. Where last year it's like Nick Gates, you had nasty Nick Gates, that was fun. Kevin Zeitler was a good offensive lineman. Andrew Thomas, like chronicling his struggles to his growth through last year. Shane Lemieux, the Shane Lemieux versus Will Hernandez dynamic, and then it was like, all right, Cam Fleming, we won't really talk much about you. But even like Matt Peart would get situational reps. There was so much to talk about with last year's offensive line. So this week's is going to be a Matt Peart segment. It's going to be talking about his pass blocking, and it's why like pressure numbers and stuff can be misleading, because I didn't think he really had a good game. Not a horrendous game, but I didn't think he had a good game. He's pretty inconsistent right now. And then we're going to go through the Kyle Rudolph touchdown drive, which includes a big play in it. And then we're going to go through the last four plays of the game. When they need the offensive line to step up and just give us some time to get that ball downfield. We don't have any time for outlets. And the failures that happen on that, and that kind of shows what this offensive line is at. But first, we're gonna go through Matt Peart. But first, you're gonna like and subscribe, because it's like we're putting out a ton of Giants content, film review, podcasts, mailbag pods, stat reports, all types of stuff. So yeah, like, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Got two segments. And we're gonna start it off with Matt Peart. Go through 8 of his pass blocking reps. All right, I'm only going to go through 8 pass reps with Matt Peart. And it's not a train wreck for Matt Peart, but it's certainly not good. But this rep is good. Like, this is what you want to see out of Matt Peart consistently. And I know he's playing left tackle instead of right tackle, which he should have, started the first 6 games or whatever at that spot. But I digress. Let's watch this left foot. 1, 2, 3. Hips are fairly square. Get your hands inside. Not the most violent punch, but your hands inside. And, Leonard Williams said it in a press conference earlier, and it's something we've said about, Matt Peart since the beginning. It was like, once he's got his hands on you, you're done. Like, he locks onto you when you got your hands on you. And that's a really good pass right there by Matt Peart. Now, here's an okay pass rep by Matt Peart. Like, good finish. You see the athleticism. You see the arm length show up on this rep. But, we counted the 3 steps on this one. Let's count these ones. 1, 2, and the third one's opening. Give me one more. Give me one more, Matt Peart. 1, 2. You give me one more. You're in spot. You don't have to open up your hips. You don't have to, open up the edge. He's not like, winning around the corner. Now, again, you see the athleticism. You see the arm length show up. And it finishes off as a decent rep. But again, we want to win right here, not right here or right here. So again, good recovery on it. But just give me one more step in that set. This might have been like the worst just pass blocking play of the night. This is the throw to Kadarius. We're setting. We've got our hips completely open at 3 yards of depth. At 3 yards of depth, you got your ass facing the sideline. And it's the same thing from Solder. And, you look at the routes, this isn't meant to be like a 3-step drop. He's getting around the corner at 5 yards. 5 to 7 yards. If you're jump setting, which, jump setting versus someone this wide is tough, but you got to get more on a 45-degree angle or just do a vertical set. But I don't think they were coaching up a vertical set on this. That was just a badly blocked play all over. Bad blitz pickup by the back. Next rep. What do we got? 3-step drop. So the ball's coming out quick on this one. So again, the 3-step drop, you're willing to give up the edge at least a little bit because you know the ball's coming out quick and the QB is not setting up deep in the pocket. So 1, 2. Give me that third. Get that third step down. You're fast enough. You are athletic enough to get that third step down, and this is a great rep. But instead, he's getting around the corner. Again, it's inconsequential, but it's like that's just stuff that, when the read isn't there and DJ has to hold on to it. So that's the difference of maybe him being able to escape and avoid a sack and get the ball out of bounds, or it being a sack. I believe this was on that final drive. And he's done a good job of picking up inside moves, setting out. Now he goes for that third step, but you got good proportion there. So he oversets on this, and then the right foot's not able to power down. He's leaning, hips opening up, passes it off on this stunt. He's just not able to pick up 90 good enough, and we'll go over this rep later on. Will Hernandez getting up a sack to Chris Jones, but we're focusing on Peart now. Next rep. Again, not the worst rep in the world, but 1, 2. You've got good proportion here. That's the proportion you want, so you don't need that third step. But watch that left foot. Drop back. Don't let it drop. Don't open your hips like that for no reason. He's got the length where it's not a horrible rep. It's a horrible rep by the right tackle, but just cleaning up that little stuff with the feet. Again, he did a decent job, and I didn't even put all the reps in there. Hey, on this rep, all right, my guy's dropping out. Slide down, pick it up. Good stuff. Quick recognition. Here, good job. Quick recognition. I got an inside move. I power that right foot down. Pass it off the Skura. Swing off. Good rep. So some good stuff. And so Peart, it's inconsistent right now. He's an inconsistent player. He's not good. He's not horrible, but he's going to have horrible reps, and then he's going to have reps where it's wow, this guy has everything it takes. But so he should get another 9 games of starting this year to grow through it. As a second-year player, obviously when Thomas comes back, he should be playing right tackle. Let him grow through it and see what you have in him. We got 9 games left, so I'm not going to give you some big takes on how the Giants should address the offseason. But yeah, that's the Matt Peart segment of the week. All right, so the different segment this week is going to be we're going to go through the first touchdown drive of the game. The touchdown to Kyle Rudolph. Not every play, 5 plays from it. Good. 1 bad, it was so bad you have to put it in, and then 4 good ones, I thought. And then we're going to look at the last drive of the game where you've got to get the ball downfield. You can't check down, and it was horrendous. It was horrendous, and it's what the coaching staff is scared of. They shouldn't call plays like that because when you don't have 1 minute left and no timeouts, you can use check downs. You can attack different spots of the field where they couldn't in that situation. So please never use that that final drive as an excuse to not do stuff. All right, let's go through the first drive. So the first play is the bad play. You've got 2nd and 8. And Billy Price. Chris Jones had, like I said at the start, with he just had whoever he went up against. He dominated. Times up the snap. But also, it's something we talked about when I did the full Billy Price breakdown after the Washington game is the false steps. He takes a step backwards. And that allows him to get up here, swim over him. That with timing the snap up. And look, Billy Price is there's one angle of it looks like he's hugging Devontae Booker and totally blows up the play. This is a read option where they're reading this player. Like Skura gets that off block. Like Solder and Hernandez actually do a good job, doubling up to this linebacker. Now this linebacker's unblocked because this motion player didn't pull this linebacker out. But Billy Price, come on, my man. And what is this? Timed at the snap. He's doing the handstand. Timed at the snap. This was the John Ross catch, the 50-yarder. That's what we want, baby. That's a pocket. Now you get help. This is what what the Giants do. Let's look over here. Evan Ingram. Chip help. Chip help now goes into the flats as an outlet. And again, this is on 3rd and 11. So you get that blocked up. Well, Hernandez against Chris Jones doesn't win this rep. Good start. And Chris Jones is able to get his hands up in those shoulder pads and swim over him. But Jones is able to step up. You get a stunt from these two. But you're sliding this way. Devontae Booker's out there for the chip if you need it. Billy Price is ready. And you got this. You get this pocket for him to step up. And John Ross to make a hell of a catch. And that gets you down the field. Next rep. Well, this isn't the next play was the Kadarius Toney trick play. Here, using Toney in motion, which I love, by the way. Bad snap. To force this linebacker out. They're running what's called train. So what is train? It's you're leaving him unblocked and you're leaving him unblocked. So you got Ingram pops out here. So let's watch Hernandez and Solder. They're doubling to the backside. Good job on that. Good job by Solder using his leverage, angles. Hernandez, Price holds up on his guy decent enough. And then you got Matt Skura, who's supposed to be the kick-out block, and then Matt Peart is the lead blocker up through. But something that teams have really adjusted to with the Giants, because the Giants have did so much pulling in 2019, is their D linemen and linebackers are spilling through, which is when they're being unblocked, they have to know, like, all right, there's someone pulling and they're going to try and kick me out. So what they're doing is they are getting down and then they are getting inside of the kick-out block, which can blow a play up. But Peart does a good job of realizing, I'm tapping the button too much, realizing it, and instead of just going up through the hole, which is like like what you want is him to kick this player out and then Peart with up on 50. Well, the linebacker plays outside. Peart picks this up. Running back presses the hole. Bam. There you go. Now you got space in front of you. You get yourself a nice 10-yard gain. Now we got 2nd and goal. I just watched the last out of the World Series. Astros lost. I'm very happy about that because their fans are insufferable to our company. All right. What rep? Oh, 2nd and goal. This is that like Shep rub fade. I don't understand this play call. Jones throws to nobody. But let's Lee Hernandez get some help. Solder's getting bold, which is not new. Hernandez gets some help. Now again, not a good game for Hernandez, but Hernandez gets some help. You got Price lined up here. These two here, Rudolph blocking. Nice platform. Nice wall right here for Daniel Jones to step up and throw into. And yeah, I don't know this. This is the touchdown. Really nothing special on this, but it's the touchdown, so I'm putting it in there. I mean, you just play action, everyone blocking down. At least no one got blown up. And Kyle Rudolph gets a touchdown. His first touchdown as a New York Giant. All right, final drive of the game. So we got 4 plays. They get 1st and 10, the 25-yard line, no timeouts with a minute left. And it was just a disaster up front. A disaster up front. First play. This was the best one of the four. Will Hernandez gets beat. Flushes DJ out. Skura and Peart don't do a good job picking up the stunt. Doesn't really affect the play too much, but it's like Solder, get down, or Peart, get down. Skura, don't open your hips, don't expose yourself so much. And they're able to complete this pass. And again, this was by far the best play of this one. Next one, Will Hernandez gives up a sack. No help from the left side either. I mean, you got to play the full man, Will. You're not going to win with him lined up here and you lined up here. You got to play the full man. I know Chris Jones is a good player, but you've got to do that type of stuff. He's just able to beat you upfield. On the left side, again, and they did a good job picking up stunts on the left side up until this final drive of the game. We went over this on the Peart rep, on the Peart segment, but it's blown up. I mean, that's what gets DJ, to scramble at first, and then you got Chris Jones there. Just a bad play all around. Now you have 3rd and 15. Let's watch Nate Solder. This one got screenshotted and shared around the internet. Just on skates. You can't get beat like that in the NFL. You just can't. You can't be backpedaling like that, like you're a corner. You got to have your hands ready to punch. You can't be on your heels. These are the type of reps, because people overreact, right? It's like a practice squad player would be better than him. These are the type of reps where if you told me like, hey, they're gonna start Corey Cunningham, I'm like, okay, let's see what we got, because this shouldn't happen to an NFL player. Shouldn't happen to an NFL player. So now we got 4th and 15. They send four. They even try and give you help with Ingram and Booker chipping. Now it's 4th and 15, so you keep both of these guys in the block instead of putting them out of outlet routes, but whatever. Skura and Peart can't pick up a stunt. Or at least not on this rep. Peart leans, gets spun out of. Skura is late to come off. And they're meeting at the quarterback. A 4-man rush. 4-man rush. You know they're going to be sending this stuff at you. And then Billy Price finishes the game off with a slide. So, one more game without Andrew Thomas. So, against Max Crosby, who's like leading the NFL in QB hits right now. I was actually watching some of his film last week. A lot of stunts. And you just saw some stunts. So, yeah, it's frustrating. It's frustrating with this offensive line right now, the situation it's in. Where it's like, you have essentially 5 guys starting right now. Do you feel good about any of those guys going into next year starting? Andrew Thomas was really the only player, and he was obviously out right now. Like, you don't really feel good about any of those 5 guys. There's going to be serious changes. But we got 9 more weeks of the O-line report, so stay tuned with it. Watch the film review, all that good stuff. Appreciate you guys for watching this one. I'll see you on the next one. Until then, let's go Big Blue.